So this is the lower unit to my Bayliner boat, and I'm going to be replacing the impeller here on this OMC Cobra. Um, so I'm going to start by just taking off the 3 bolts that keep the cap on here. So right here, and then there's another one down here. So I'm going to start by taking that off, and they are 3/8 inch. So I'm going to start there. So this cap comes off. And then inside here we have the impeller here, the housing. So right here it is. So we also have 3 more bolts. So 1, 2, and 3 underneath here. This is the hose that runs to the lower end of this lower unit. So I'm just going to pop it off. Looks like someone had zip tied it, and just keep it on a little bit better. So you can disconnect it just like that, make it a little easier. And then we're gonna take off these 3 bolts. So then we're going to pull this cap right off and check the impeller. We had bought this boat a little while back and we're doing some repairs on it, and yes, looks like it was high past the due date for it to be changed. It's probably a good thing to change it every time you buy a new boat, or if you have gotten a boat somewhere and even if the person says it was good, it's always a good rule of thumb to change it every year or 2 or a couple years, and also to change it when you buy a boat. That way you're just never sure, and make sure to keep your lower unit functioning properly, doesn't overheat, all that. So yeah, it looks like there's some buildup here as well. Down here, the rubber that was melted off from being overheated off of the impeller here. Here's our impeller, and yeah, I'm gonna clean some of this stuff out and put a new one back in. So we are going to pull this out here and take a look at it outside of the casing here. So grab a screwdriver, pop it out. Oh yeah. So the tub itself looks decent shape, decent condition, but this right here is our problem. Quite the use on it. Should have all its fins. It does not have its fins. It has definitely been used quite a bit, or it's been not changed for a while. So we are definitely going to be replacing this part right here, and this is the impeller. And yeah, we got this boat a little while back. We haven't run it yet, so we're just fixing it up. Didn't run when we got it, so we're fixing a couple things and changing the impeller. And yeah, I realized they ran it dry. It didn't run it with water or something, and they really burn up the impeller and the housing there. So we had to end up getting a whole new housing. So you kind of see here, this was the old one. Actually, the tub inside here actually rotated. These slots here should actually be on either side of this right here. The new one here looks like this. It should look like this, where you have the slots on either side. You can see the difference here, the rotation there, and it was actually melting the actual housing plastic. You can see on the outside here, up in here, we're starting to actually bubble and run a little bit actually. So actually it was getting extremely hot from running it dry, and there was plastic buildup down in here. Definitely time for a new one. Always a good reason why you should always change the impeller when you buy a boat. Never know when it was changed last, and never know what condition it looks like, because it might look like this. And it's not what you want. You want something more like this. It's got the fins straight. Obviously a big difference. So we're gonna be replacing this, stick this in, and see how it works. So this is the new one. The kit we got came with a tub and the housing and all this, as well as the fin and as well as it came with the metal plate or steel plate here, with the a gasket behind it, but I don't think I'm gonna replace the plate. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit with some acetone and just a rag, clean up the surface. That way it's not too gouged at all. So we're going to just leave that there, and it should still function pretty well. And then we're gonna stick the new one in. Actually, one thing to when you go to put it in, to help a little bit with putting it in, as well as also when you go to start it up after you are done, is just put a little bit of grease down there to help it lubricate a little bit before the water gets to it. That way it's not running dry and it's not doing what it looks. It's not gonna end up like last time. So that'll lubricate it a little bit. Not much, just a little bit to give it some lubrication. And make sure as well when you're putting the impeller in, make sure that the keyhole, this is facing out, because it's going to go on here. It only can go on one way, so you can't really go wrong with that. Find a spot and it locks in like that, and it turns the shaft there, or it turns by the shaft. So make sure that's sticking out that way. All right, so the new one here is back in, and we have the impeller aligned so that it will just slide on just like that. But before we do that, also make sure we have the O-ring in there as well. So we're gonna put our new one on. Should slide right in there just like that. Okay. So we're gonna stick that on. Just like that. All right, and one last thing before we close it up, we want to stick on the hose here, the water, and it looks like someone else has zip tied it on, so it looks like it's still fine. So we're gonna leave that there. Just gonna shove that on, and then we're left with putting back on the cap, and then we should be good to go. There we go. Got our impeller replaced, and we'll stick it back in and see how it works.